For setting off for the first lap, obviously, yeah, you get your tap on the shoulder, the green light, and then you're away down Braille and just dropping off the edge of the world, obviously, into the bottom. You hit the bottom, it just takes your breath away.
There's a few races in the world, you know, some smaller road races, but they're not like the IOMTT, 250 corners plus, you know, a genuine mountain to climb over. So, you know, you've got your Nürburgrings and you've got your Pikes Peak and these other events, but they're just car parks compared to this place. This is the daddy circuit. My name's John McGuinness, 43-year-old motorbike racer from Morecambe, north of England. I've been racing 25 years this year, so yeah, doing it a long time, 19th TT in a row, so one or two races around here as well, and you know, still enjoying it, still buzzing, still excited, still motivated. So from the outside looking in, if you've never been here, they must think we're bonkers, you know, must think we're crazy, but you know, when you're sat on the bike, it doesn't actually feel, it feels fast in some areas. When the narrow bits through Kirkmichael, it feels like you're doing 300 miles an hour through the houses and down the Sulby Straight, 200 miles an hour, and you know, so, I mean, it's really special. I mean, it's just, like I say, nowhere else in the world you get this experience.
You're getting yourself sort of set up, and then you're on the gas again into the bottom of the Braille. I say that you get to the bottom of there, and you can't describe it. The bike compresses out, grounds out on the floor. It feels like your heart's sunk. It takes your breath away. You can't breathe. You know, when you hit the bottom, it's your breath. You breathe. You just can't breathe at all. Everything just sinks. And then you fly out at the top, and then the bike's wheeling, and that's a good part of the track. Tom McHale from Cumbria in Grange over Sands. First time at TT. I'd never been over till February this year when I came over to learn the track. It's hard work. You feel like obviously to cling on to the big superbike. It's your arms and your shoulders, your neck, everything's aching. You're ready to get off it after the session's finished. At the start I was clinging on too tight and I was getting a lot of arm pump, couldn't feel the handlebars, and obviously you can't hold on then, which is a bit scary when you're going along about 180 miles an hour down the big bumpy sections, because the handlebars are just chattering away in your hands.
get scared, but you know, you try not to think about it. All the guys that come here make a choice about going and competing. And you know, you have to make it that choice to go bike racing. Never mind just the TT, but the TT in particular. And it's an understanding that it's worth it to go and live a life chasing an achievement rather than just a life spent not knowing what doing. It's like no one chooses one day to have the ambition to go race the TT. It just happens in you. The fear happens, but we're all gonna die. The difference is what we do before that, and I don't know, you put the helmet on, close the visor down, and it all just sort of goes away, and you just focus on the job in hand. And when you're sitting in the paddock stewing, you can think about what might happen, what would happen if you do this. When you're out there on the machine, ragging it, there's too much going on to think about what might happen. You need to keep as much of a level head as you can, but at the same time, your gut will take over. There are risks that come with that, but if I'm going out doing everything I can to try and achieve something, then, you know, I'm winning.
Now, like 2 years ago, I lost Japanese rider I look after, but it's I can't explain. Just you know, it's so. I know what they risk and they wanted to do this, was just so hard to accept their death, but just everyone just needed time to heal that pain. Only time, I think. So I try to think only good things about them. My name is Asa, and my first TT 1997. I came with Japanese rider here, and since then just involved. We don't have a road race, a pure road racing in Japan, it's only short circuit. So people still don't know so much about TT, but getting famous now. Very different, very unique.
I came in once and I was covered in blood on one of my shoulders. I'd forgotten all about it. You know, you have to hit a bird doing 160 mile an hour, and but the mechanic said, "Oh, are you okay?" Yeah, fine. You have to just wipe anything out. You almost have a bad, you know, a crash or a slide, or you have to just totally put it out of your mind. You're thinking about what could be the problem, but you're not thinking, I have to slow down. Yeah, my name's Ian Locher. I'm a Welsh motorcycle racer. Retired now, 2 years. And I raced for 31, 32 seasons. I forget now how many, but a long time. So yeah, I still race at the Classic TT in August. Other than that, that's about it. So part-time racer. The race starts a long time before the race starts. You know, it starts when you first thing you get up in the morning. You're sort of thinking a long way ahead of it, and it's actually before the actual flag drops to go. You're thinking about everything. You know, every little thing. The pit stops, changing the helmet, changing the visor. You know, how much fuel you'll take on board, how long you'll be there. So you're thinking all these things before it's actually happened. If you don't think about those things, then you're not going to be competitive. You have to be thinking that much ahead all the time. And the thing to remember as well, I always try to ride with, always expect the unexpected. So if anything should happen, then you've got to just totally put it out of your mind. I started racing back in 1982 on an RD 400 Yamaha, and yeah, basically I was going too fast on the roads, and as a youngster of 16, 17, and get in trouble with the police and things. So I went to a local circuit in Wales, and a friend said to me, "Do you think you fancy having a go at racing?" And I said, never even thought about it. But yeah, so it started from there really. And but once I started, I realised how competitive I was. I didn't really feel competitive about anything else, really.
You go short circuits and you've got paddock, you come out the paddock, you get the start line, you set off, there's tarmac, there's big chunky rumble strips, apex markers, there's massive grass runoff, then there's gravel trap, then there's air fences, then behind all that there's the spectators, and you know, they're off in the distance. And there's room for things to go wrong, whereas with the TT, you're in the paddock, you get on the start line, you set off, and there's tarmac, but then the tarmac starts to change, and then there's white lines painted on the tarmac, and then there's curbs, and then there's stone walls, and then there's hedgerows, and then there's someone's house. Then there isn't that runoff, there isn't that space, there's not that room for you and the bike to come to the deceleration. You'll get stopped. You're probably not getting up and walking from that. So, but you know, you just gotta, you know that going in.
Not scared is not the right word. If I scare, I don't come back here, I think. Just wish not gonna bad things happen, or not scared. Of course, tense. I hope all rider have a good TT, and just pray for them. Yeah.
There's a couple of my close mates been killed on the track, and I always ask them to look after me. When I go through the certain parts of the course, I'll just ask them to look after me. One was like old Davy Jeffries, Gus Scott, and like old Mick Lofthouse, you wouldn't know who they are, but they passed away on the circuit. So I always sort of have a little ritual like that, if you like. I'd wear pink knickers if it kept me safe, you know. Do anything.
It's something that you grow used to, definitely, because it's a little bit, not scary, but a little bit wow, you know. It wasn't like this last year, you know, but obviously it was. And you just naturally then, by the end of the week, end of the fortnight, you go down Braille and you ride with I wouldn't say you could take one hand off the handlebars, but it feels almost like you're not really holding on.
You have to be a bit more disciplined on the road. You can't be going screaming into corners out of control. You just got to knock the throttle back 10% and just think about what's coming next. As soon as you miss a second by braking that little bit late sometimes, you're running wide. And when you know you've run wide and you can see that hedge coming, that can be a bit unnerving. Because all you're doing is run into that hedge and try to stop. And you don't want to be hitting the hedges around here.
It does tire you out, but it's funny because you get some strength from somewhere, and I don't know where it comes from. It's like an inner safety thing, where you just, I don't know, it's a survival thing really. I have to hold on to this thing and I have to keep going, and then when you finish, it's, you know, in here I'm good, you know. So, you know, psychologically I'm prepared. Physically I'm okay, but I'll be there at the end.